Welcome into a new episode of FL Studio Cheat Codes. Let's get straight into it. If you want to zoom into a specific click, just hold Ctrl, Shift, and right click wherever you want to zoom. If you want to zoom out a bit, just release the Shift and right click, and you are ready to roll again in the playlist. Let's say you want to stretch this audio clip. You can just simply press Shift and M to activate the stretch mode. And now, as you can see, we are actually stretching the clip. To get out of the stretch mode, just Shift and M again. If you want to still use FL Studio as it was meant to be used, aka free playlist, free mixer, free channel rack, and you want to just take a clip from the playlist and route it into the mixer. The easiest way to do it is to just make sure you have the right clip selected, go here and just Ctrl L. Now this is a little more unique shortcut. I've noticed that many times, especially if I'm playing notes and quantizing them or not quantizing them, I'm left with a note which is not fitting into the grid of my piano roll. And I usually need to try to do it like so. It's a lot of work, or you can just cut it like this, then select this again, but that's also a lot of work. I've actually found a pretty easy way to get back to the current grid you had going on earlier. I'm actually going to demonstrate it like this. So select the note you want to snap to the grid and just Shift and D. Let's demonstrate it again. If I change to this and I select this, Shift D, it will snap to the smallest grid division. And it's super useful when you have notes that are weird lengths like this, and obviously it's not going to work in EDM. Well, it can work, but you know what I mean. One of my favorite things inside of the piano roll are the different tools we have. And one of the best ones is the chopper. You can open it up just by pressing Alt and U, like so, and just use this time knob here to set your chop. Our old friend metronome. If you didn't know, you can actually right click and customize the metronome sound if you want to. Easy as that. If you go to View and Toolbars and go to hint bar and just place it to somewhere where you are not going to get bothered by it. I usually like to set it up here where it's not blocking anything, it's just going to be useful. And these are subtle things that you might not be aware of at all. Let's say, for example, you hover your mouse in here. If you look at the hint panel, aka this one here, you can actually see the decibel values of different things in FL Studio, basically from everywhere. And I just want to give you guys one example. In Edison, now I can only see decibel because it's only showing me the amplitude of the sound. But let's say I open up the spectrum analyzer like this. Now it's going to show me the hertz, as you can see, and the note. And FL Studio is full of features like this. When I was trying to learn Citrus years and years ago, you can hover your mouse in the matrix and you can actually see this is operator 3 to operator 2 frequency modulation. Because this matrix, for example, might be super confusing for beginners, but this hint panel actually makes it pretty easy. I actually got a question about this, and it was about the colorful waveforms. Let's actually choose a sound like this kick, for example. You can simply go into Options and General Settings. And here you have the colorful waveforms. You can either choose them to be off, or multiband, or just color map. I usually use the color map, works the best for me. Don't really know in reality if I have gotten any good use out of this, but I don't know, it looks cool and that's something, I guess. Now let's say you have a situation where your screen is full of different plugins. Many people actually know this shortcut. If you press F12, it will close everything on your screen simultaneously. But then you need to open up all the different zones again, like the playlist, the channel rack, and the mixer. Let's open up these plugins one more time here. And now if you just press Alt and F12, it will only close the plugin windows, and this will actually free up a lot of RAM/CPU for you, especially if you are not using detached plugins. And what I mean by that is, if your plugins are not detached like mine, and you leave your plugin window open and go click your playlist, your plugin will actually hide behind the playlist like this. And I guess there is all sorts of smart disable features in FL Studio these days, but it's a good practice to actually close down all the plugins that you are not using. If you wanna group tracks in the playlist, a nice and easy way to do it is to just drag like this, select the playlist clips you want, or you can hold Shift and click through like this. Then you just simply click here and hold, drag up like this, and they will be grouped to the track above like this. Now this next tip is something pretty interesting. I guess most of you guys that are new to FL Studio don't ever use this plugin called Fruity Scratcher, and neither do I, to be completely honest. But one cool way to use it, if you have a MIDI keyboard or something like a drum pad with some faders, let's set this thing up. So first of all, let's load up some sort of a sound to the Scratcher plugin. And the best sounds in FL Studio you can find from the legacy section. Let's choose this one maybe. Works nicely. And what we are going to do is we are going to right click this vinyl and go to Link to Controller. And now make sure the auto detect is on and disable this remove conflicts here. Now just simply choose a knob and move it like so. Click this hold thing in here. Now you can actually see that we are moving like so. Now what we are going to do next is we are going to take the volume dial here and right click that, go Link to Controller, auto detect on, and just choose a key or a pad on your keyboard like this. Now what we are going to do is we are going to right click again, go Link to Controller, and go here to the mapping formula and choose the force boolean like this. Now if I press this key, it's on 100%, and if I release, it's at 0. Now, depending on your setup, you can now start to do some scratching effects, and you can obviously try different type of sounds here. And you can obviously customize the settings inside of the Scratcher, but this is just a demonstration on how you could actually use this plugin. And this is the easiest and most fun way, and I have to admit that I do play around with this fairly often because it's just simply so fun. That's the episode for this week. Let me know what you guys think, and if you have any great tips in FL Studio or in music production and you would like them to be included in the future video, just let me know via Instagram or via email. All the details are in the description of this video. Leave a comment and we'll see you guys in the next video. Here are some nice recommendations for you. See ya later.